Hey, my Embrace You test group. Welcome to Embrace You. I am so grateful to you that you have mostly agreed. I say mostly because let me finish my sentence, that you've mostly agreed to be a part of the group. I say mostly because there's some steps that I need you to take before you start inviting women, before you officially decide, sorry, my hair, what? Before you officially decide to do an Embrace You group. Because these groups, or if you do it with a friend, require people to be vulnerable. It's risky, right? It's going to be risky for people to be a part of it. And so it's going to be super important that your group is full of women who trust one another, who feel each person is safe, who feel comfortable sharing vulnerable things. It's really super important. If you just invite a bunch of women, you and I know some women do not know yet how to deal with vulnerable situations. They're just not in a place, they don't know how to do it yet. It requires empathy, right? Not sympathy. It requires not fixing things. It's very, very different when we're acting out of empathy. And empathy encourages people to be vulnerable. So if you get a bunch of women in there who don't know how to be empathetic and someone is vulnerable, it will crush them and your group will not last. It won't work. It will kill it. It will kill the group. So it's really important that you do a few things before you completely commit to doing this with me. And let me just say how much I appreciate you even taking the time to decide that. I know each of you in here have said, yeah, I'm really interested. I'd like to do that. So I just wanted to verbally walk through what I need you to do first before you decide. And definitely before you invite anyone into the group. Like, nobody, don't invite anybody now until you've done these steps. If you've invited somebody, it could be tricky if you go through these steps and then you go, oh, that person is not really going to be safe. Okay, so I've thought through this a lot. That does not mean I have not missed things, because I probably have. I've thought through this a lot. I've talked to therapist Connie. She's led lots of groups where safety is a big deal. And so she's helped me kind of compose all of this. I kind of ran it all by her, and since I've never had a group of this kind myself. So we're all going to be doing this together. I'm going to be starting a group myself. And I have to go through the exact same process as you. So step one, you may have noticed I've had some what are they called? Images that have step 1, step 2, step 3 of forming your own egg. We're calling them eggs because EYG is egg. I like it. So we're all going to have some eggs. Some of us will have bigger eggs than others. So I would love I'd love to have at least 3 groups that have 3 or more people in them. I'd love to have at least 4, not 3 or more. I take that back. I'd like to have 3 groups that have at least 4 in them, and then a couple of groups that might be just friends. So if you start going through this process and you're like, I can think of one person and we can't think of any other person together, don't worry about it. Yeah. If you want to just do it with a friend, that'd be great. But I'd love for at least a few of us to get larger groups. Okay, so step 1 is identify your heart holders, and that's a document that's in the files section. So hopefully I'm pointing correctly. Sometimes Facebook flips things around. But up, when you're looking at your Facebook page, up in the left-hand corner is something that says Files, and in Files are all these documents. And all you have to do is just open them. You can print them off if you want, but you can also I don't know if you can share yet. I got to figure that out. I probably have to put those somewhere where you can share them. But the idea is that you could send these documents to the woman you are wanting to invite first. She can read them over and decide if she wants to be a part of the group. So identifying heart holders. Why is that even here? This is the most important thing, I think, in this group, is you deciding who is my heart holder? Who is my safe person? I'm going to make another video and I'm going to talk about that more in depth, but please do that first. It's a series of questions that will walk you through, how do I know this woman that I'd like to invite? How do I know if she's safe? Like, is she going to hurt me? Or is she going to be empathic with me? So I'll talk some more about that, why that's there. But please start with that, the first document. And as you might even just start a list of women that you think would be great in this group. Women who you know would really enjoy being a part of something where they're being authentic and learning more about themselves and embracing how God made them. So that's step one. Step two is, and actually you don't have to do these in this order. You can do, just as long as all three of these are done, you'll be great. So I have step two listed as, my battery just started to go out, the Group Safety Guidelines Agreement. This is the agreement I want you to look over now. This is something everybody in the group has to agree to before they can be in the group. They actually have to sign it. And it's a lot of stuff. I will admit to you that I've even several times I've been like, is it too much? Is it too much? And Connie keeps reassuring me, in order for it to be safe, in order for people to feel like they can share things and not be judged or criticized or berated or put down or shamed, this group has to agree to treat each other empathically. And so there's all sorts of things that are included in that. So please first look it over and decide, can I agree to this? Like, can I do this? If you're like, I don't know if I can, Kathleen, that's okay. Maybe you doing an egg right now is not the right time. But I want to make sure you can agree to it before you ask other people to do that too. And I'll do another video talking about the agreement. I'm hoping that we might be able to even find a time where we all can be on here and you can ask me questions. Okay, the step three that I have listed, the step three image was the process of choosing members. So like I mentioned, you do not want to put something out on Facebook and say, hey, I'm starting this group, who wants in? You don't want to do that. So I have thought and gnawed and tried to figure out a good way for everybody in the group to feel comfortable. And it's not super simple. I mean, it's simple, maybe not easy. It's a simple concept, but it is not like any group you've ever been a part of, probably. This is, you have to, everybody, I'm talking in half sentences again. I'll tell you more about it, but it will walk you through, how do I start choosing members? First, I have to have my list of heart holders, and then I choose the one that's kind of my favorite. Like, who's the one on my list that I want most in my group? And then once she goes through the whole process that you went through, then the two of you are going to get together and talk about who's on her list and who's on your list. And you're going to try to find somebody who's on both your lists. That may not happen. You may not find somebody on both your lists. And so there's a process of what to do when that happens. But you're looking for, the two of you together are going to now try to figure out who else can be in the group that you both feel safe and comfortable with. So it can be a little tricky, but I think I've got some good guidelines to help you do that. But just inviting a bunch of people is a bad idea. It's not going to go well. So, okay, that was my three. So anybody have any questions about those, put them in the comments. And then I'd also, like I said, I'd like to do a video for each of those three so we can go through and see if there's any questions you might have. Be on the lookout. Tirza